Drama.
And he also
But
plays admit with me.
Okay. Pratay, you what?
English and grammar.
Debate and drama.
This is
Fine.
main, ma'am, and after that I also do some others.
And
Because you
and
said that debate
the
and drama
simple
is-
events will be done in the class only. But the major events you will prepare all by yourself, like drama, debate. So you have to practice this.
This is because you told that drama debate is the main.
And news bulletin. All the seniors should gather up for news bulletin also. And it is very easy. It is not difficult. Once you know the process, it's easy. Yes, Arisha. Since we are 1 wicket down, like Mahi is not participating, so even I was a little sad about it, but then she's not. Yes, Anisha. You? Debate me.
She's a very good dancer, ma'am.
But there is nothing called dancing. You cannot dance in English. But yes, you can sing in English, but you cannot dance. Drama and admin. Yes, guys at the back. He is yawning. Please come in the front. Come here. All you 3 backbenchers, come up. There are a lot of things lined up. Shubharam also.
Yes.
Communication fest also.
And very famous sister.
It will all be included, I think, in a day. And I think the prize distribution will be done on the best of, like, he will be deciding who will be coming first, second, or third. But where will be the time for students to show your drama and your singing and all that? So Padamjeet Sharawat is coming.
Mishra and the Suez Berry. Suez Berry is a very famous.
Yes. So it will be like Inspiro that so many people will be coming. But one thing is of concern, when will our students participate? When will our students perform?
After that,
You cannot. Are we going to hire the hall for 2 days? Anyways, let things be to director sir. Let him decide. He is the best person to decide. Yes. What events are you participating in?
Drama, live commentary.
Live commentary you can do. Very good.
Give the example.
Yes. Today I am going to show you the live commentary. So you will give the live commentary of what is happening in the class.
Yeah.
You come here. You will be telling who is saying, who is doing. But at this time, we can see that Patay is smiling and all that.
No, I'm live commentary on card.
Huh?
On card. Card racing.
I can give you anything on live commentary. It is up to me.
So still you have no any topic that is the judges give you on a spot topic.
You will be given the topic on the spot.
Yeah.
So you cannot choose. I will be doing on this something. Yes, people at the back.
Drama also translation. The words are
Complete the story. Yeah. Complete the story is like not the written part, the speaking part, isn't it? Okay, do you know what this event is like? Completing the story?
Yes.
How? Yeah, so all the events are known to him. So he knows what is happening in each event. So I really wanted to do the news bulletin because that takes training. You will have to be trained for this. Right? Can somebody get a pay newspaper? Because that needs training, and you will be practicing even when I'm not there in the center. Somebody get the newspaper. I'll just tell you how to go about it. So for this, you need a newspaper. Now, one person, like you all must be watching the news in English. So what happens? One person is in the studio, and the other persons are, but whatever the news is all about. Now, supposing the one person who is in the studio, he will be reading coming up with the headlines. So, like this is Rakesh Kumar. I'm from newsroom 2A. The news of the hour and the headlines. The person will be reading all the headlines from the headlines can be 4 to 5 news, right? It can be news from Delhi. It can be news from Pune. It can be news from Patna. It can be news from Kolkata. So there will be 5 different persons located at 5 different places. So this is Patna, this is Delhi, whatever. And now the person will be connecting with each student, with each correspondent. Like I would like to speak to our correspondent Anisha from Delhi to give the updates about Sidhu Moosewala murder case. Then you will be giving the news or whatever. Of course, first you will have to read the news, and then you will have to give the news in your own words. For this, you will be given a preparation time. You did not get any times of India or something like that. You did not get any newspaper like Times of India, the Hindustan Times.
No, library is closed. This is on the reception table.
Fine. So, what are the headlines, please? Headlines.
RBI could go for up to 50 BPS hike in hike.
Read only the headlines.
AKU most rating equity investment limit to 25%. UPI has made January 2015 to adhere to 30% cap on MPT sales.
Only the headlines will be in the front page.
IIT team needs for one venture of export foundation target. That or that.
No.
BJP acts against rapid.
No, do not turn the page. The headlines will be in the first page.
Only
So now the news which you read are from which places?
in so national growth, you can say that national news.
Each news comes from different place. Tell me.
Are you from the
Read the headlines and from where the news is about.
First headline, RBI could go for up to 50 BPS hike in repo rate. This is from Mumbai.
Okay. Then somebody be the correspondent from Mumbai. And the person will be reading out the news. First you will prepare and then you will give the news. The next news, what is the headlines?
IFCO must raising equity investment limit to 25%. This is also from Mumbai.
From Mumbai. So somebody else can read a news from a different place.
BJP bids trend in Uttarakhand, return to power for CM Course.
From?
This is a news from Uttarakhand.
Then the correspondent will be from Uttarakhand and he will be giving you the updates. The person who is sitting in the studio, his work is only to read the headlines and connect with the correspondents from the places where you will be giving the news. So for this, you will be given at least 2 to 3 hours time to prepare. Like the news of the hour is the headlines. We will be reading all the headlines. And now the news in details. So different persons will be giving out news from the, okay, so what's happening over there? Like Sidhu Musawala, we did this in BBA AKU 6. So a girl read news from Delhi, which was updates on Sidhu Musawala's murder case. Like the murder was planned from the jail. So this news somebody gave, and then there was some other news also, like a crash in Nepal. So different people gave out different news. But one person who was in the studios, he gave out the news. And when all the news was taken care of by 4 or 5 different persons, then the person who is in the newsroom, he will say, and now the headlines once again. You will read the headlines, and then that's all for now. Stay tuned for the next news at 5. That's it only. So it is not difficult, but then you will have to speak like how the anchors are speaking. Can you try this out today? Which video? Okay. All right. Then you prepare this, and then read the news. One newspaper is enough, and then it is a group activity. So all you gather into a group. How many news are going to give to whom? You don't have to mug it up, but just read the news and tell us. No mugging. So this is how the news bulletin works. And now they complete the story. Yeah, please come. You come. You come here. You will never be prepared. Now this is the story, complete the story. We already have done this in week. Today I did it. And 2-3 days back I did it for BBM first year. Everybody is doing it. The events are always unannounced. Since you have to be trained, practice sessions have got to be there. So the event is this BBA AKU 3rd Sem. And the event today is complete the story. Okay, a little guidelines about how to come up with this, complete the story. When you're given a story, you have to take up from where the mentor leaves and complete the story. In one story, there has to be a plot. There has to be characters, include characters, include setting, where the story is taking place, include all the 5 senses, what the characters are doing, include what they see, what are they watching, what are their feelings, what they are touching, what they are doing, all the 5 senses, include emotions, create a problem, and give a solution, and end the story. All this you have to do in only a couple of minutes. It is different from a jam. Jam doesn't have a story, but complete the story. The first line already will be given to you, on the basis of which you will go on completing the story. Are you ready?
But there must be some lies.
Yes, I believe you. I said, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
It had been raining for 3 days. The roads were waterlogged. When the door opened, the water rushed in. And then with it came snakes, dead animals. The little boy was frightened. He shouted.
It has been raining since.
That already has been spoken.
Yeah.
Shouted. So, Mother, where are you? Like this. You have
I have
to
to complete.
you have to
I don't have
complete
to
it
make
from where I
this.
left.
Okay.
The little boy shouted, Mother, where are you?
The little boy shouted, "Mother, where are you? Look at the water is coming inside our house."
Create,
I don't.
create emotions. People have done it. Even you can do it.
Can't make it. What is it?
Try. People have done it. Okay, who can try? Koshish, try. Students have done this. BBM first year, they have done it very beautifully.
I can write, but I don't think I can speak.
No, this is complete the story.
It is a hypothetical situation.
So you have to. I told you it has to be have a plan. It has to have a plan. Plot. Yes, brother, you come. So in intra batch, you have not been selected for complete the story. If you try, you can be selected. Yeah. Hey, he shouted, Mother, where are you? We want a different line.
Send the student with the other story or this story. 1 second. Please.
Complete the story so that it can help him.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm starting lines. 1 second, please.
It had been raining for 3 days. And when the door opened, the water rushed inside. The little boy was frightened on seeing a snake and dead animals. Mother, where are you? He shouted.
At that time, the little boy was shouted, and the mother is also fear very much because of their snack. And when a snack enter in the room, that is a very fearless time. Then that time the mother calls to her husband that in our room there are snacks and we are very fear. They are in the and at that time they are in the bed and they do not climb on the bed, so they do not come to the across the room because of the fear. And when his father came and knocked the door, both the children and the mother not open the door because of the fear. And his father is a very in a trouble position. They do not feel that what is the problem happening in the home, what is there, and they are fear very much. Then after his father called their mother and says that please open the door, no, don't fear, I am here. Then after his mother come at the gate and suddenly he saw the snacks. At that time he feared very much and he cried. And then after the husband comes from the window and he take a bomb, He's taking it, and they beat the snacks, and after that, his his children feel happy, and after that, he said that my father is a real hero. This is the story.
Okay. So like this, you have to create. Did you understand? So you have to create one event after the other to complete a story. Okay, now Anisha, you come. Life was hard for her. She had known happiness, but only for a short while. How things happened, she could not know. When she woke, she saw that she was alone.
There were no one in her house. She was alone, and she was a child of only 8 years old. She was getting scared of the darkness in the room because there was raining outside from 3 days, and there were no parents in her house. She was scaring of the darkness which was in her room. Then she tried to call her father, but connection was also lost due to rain, and she could not call his father or her father or mother. But after a while, her mother came back home, and she get relaxed that my mother has came. Then both mother was also a little bit scared because there was so much darkness in the room because of raining. Then they called. Then she called her husband. Then her husband came back home, and they were all together in the room. But after a while, rain was stopped. There was lightning in the room. Then they all enjoyed together and had a dinner last.
So it is not difficult if you try. Yes, next. Kumar, come on. These are communication skills only, nothing else. Tomorrow is Christmas, and the young wife she had only saved a few dollars. She was sad. She sat down on the sofa and she started crying. Oh, what could she do? She loved her husband so much, but what will be Christmas without a present? She started crying, and then start speaking.
She started crying, and she said her husband that we have not enough money to give presents for my children. Then her husband said, we have enough money. We have enough money to buy presents for our children, and her children is not very high, but she is. Whatever he collect the money, she decided to buy some presents for these money, and she go to market and buy some presents for our children, and her children is.
You did not include emotions.
इमोशन क्रिएट करो
Emotions.
सामने वाला सुनने के लिए कितना होगा इसके बाद क्या
Yes.
The inspector speaking fluent Hindi, confidently putting emotions.
मैम
You are on YouTube live.
yes no but we can explain anything in Hindi also and
No.
and here I'm
Yes.
you can understand.
All right, the inspector has spoken so many words of Hindi. So the other inspectors writing it down.
Yes, ma'am.
They were not shelter, ma'am. He.
Okay, you come.
He.
Look, enjoy each event.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to enjoy. You're going to enjoy. You're going to learn a lot of things. Now, for what's her name? For Deepa, somebody will give the story, and she will complete. Who wants to give the story?
I want to give this to.
Okay, Anisha raise her hand first. Come on, Anisha, give her a story, and she will complete. You come here. You'll be here.
A girl is coming from her house today. A girl is coming from her house today, and you meet her at Jamna. You meet her at Jamna.
I meet her Jamna apartment. He's Anisha friends.
Who is Anisha? We do not know who is Anisha yet. Is this a story or is this a live event?
It's campus. So,
Okay, she was Anisha's room, the same Anisha, a very old woman who was living. She must be 70 years old. Anisha was living there. So she knew Anisha. So I wanted to see what happened. So why? So I wanted to talk. Come on, are you telling the story?
He met Jamna apartment. He's my sister. He's my sister. He's come back in my house.
Create a problem. In every film, there is a villain who comes to create the problem.
Yes, yes. And
Okay,
in
that-
every serious after the story, there is a
and
one.
his line was that you told it. That line was.
Yes, well, what is the story?
I can't explain.
Yeah,
You tell me a story of a film which you have seen.
बोल रही है तो your the story to both when it was but any other because new film and that.
You tell me the story of a thirsty coat. Or you can tell me the story of Hare and Tortoise.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Tell me the story of Helen Keller. You don't know who's Helen Keller.
Yes, yes.
No, ma'am.
He doesn't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
Helen Keller was a young girl, an American. Yeah,
Yeah.
not deaf, deaf. She was born a normal child, but there was a disease called rubella, after which she became deaf, blind, dumb. So she's not passed the test. Next. Now the boys' turn. Come on.
Or it just one I want to see very nice. So silence is the problem of everything.
So communication first starts with you have to forget your shyness. The main objective is for you to come and start speaking. Whatever you want to speak, you can. Now Pratay will give him a story.
Yes. You meet with a new friend in your college. And Once again, I want to give the story. That is, it is the first day of your college, and you meet with the new friend of one of the new friend, and he have a problem. He has a problem at that time. He said he want to take some money with you, and
Complete the story. On YouTube live.
Don't forget that.
give some other. You can make the main thing on that as well. Just like as this, after that, I want to feel that he give me money or not when I will give money to them. Then after I am in tension. But whenever I go to washroom, he come with me in the washroom. Whenever I go to the campus of my college, he come also with me because of the money. So I am in a very critical condition at that time. So
I am in a very tight position.
yes, ma'am. What can I do at that time? But lastly, I give money for him because of his behavior, and this is the very good thing for me that after 5 days he give me my money, and after that me and we are a good friends after that time.
Come on, whatever he said, you repeat that. Or tell me any story which you have read in short.
I was walking on the road alone, and it was a time at 9 o'clock, and I saw a girl who was
So you saw a girl. So what happened to that girl? And suddenly I saw a girl. Who? Who came to me and said, Bhaiya, what are you doing? So that was anti-climax.
Then after I feel very sad.
No. And then I woke up. It was a dream. Okay. Please say something. I cannot remove your hesitation. Whatever. It can be relevant, irrelevant, whatever is coming in your minds.
okay. I saw a girl who is sitting on the bench, and she is crying because her boyfriend.
Beat her up. You will not speak. Ideas are coming in my mind all the time.
Smiling is not the solution of all the problems. You can speak anything. You are there.
You are going to
And you feel just like
you are going to participate in debate. What will happen? You have to.
His main problem is that he smile. If you say that Ashwin, you are a good boy, then after you also smile. You are
You make a story about
smile.
the smiling boy. Now tell your story.
Then after you
All right, you come.
Hey,
I am just checking who has the power to build stories. Then I will be shortlisting.
story.
I looked in the mirror. One day I looked in the mirror, but I didn't see my face.
Once upon a time.
No,
No. The completed map.
complete the story.
Not a time I.
Once again. Once again.
See, the whole class knows what I'm talking about.
Standard 2 map was that is
Yeah.
there are the story map once upon a time.
Long, long ago, once upon a time,
Yes, ma'am.
there was a prince.
Ma'am, story.
He woke up and he looked in the mirror, but lo, he could not see his face. He turned around, but there was no one around. And then storytelling, there has got to be voice.
Ma'am, I can't understand this story.
Okay, then you tell your story according to your own words. Tell.
Okay. I come here in this college and I meet many friends in first sem, like Patliputra University.
Is this a story? This is not a story.
Your introduction of that quality of this college.
Are you in bridge class?
Yes.
Ma'am, but we have some memories with us. This is also a story.
Okay, convert that into a story. One day, the student walked in his college and met new friends. Okay, start.
Yeah, sometime it was.
Long time ago, when the earth was not round.
Some time ago, I walk in this
What?
college.
Which wall?
In this street, in this college.
You climbing up the wall? You came through walking up the, crawling up the wall, or came through the elevator, lift, stairs?
Some time ago, I walked.
Yeah. Let him. Please.
Sometime.
Please.
Starting.
Starting. Some time ago.
I walked in this, college, and
Walk.
I walked in this college, and I go to 3B, that BCom class, and I meet my new friend Sanskar,
Are you okay?
and
You are not a BCom student. Why did you go to
I
BCom class?
am biggest person. I have make a new.
Why
friend.
did you go to BCom?
I have make a new friends. So I interact with another batch. I interact with this batch, BBA batch. I would interact with another batch, so I can go with 3B. Then I meet.
So what is the problem? Create a problem and then the solution.
Then he suit him and said, "Get out from my class."
So I meet my new friend Sanskar. Then he will tell my problem. That
What was the problem? Create a problem. In every villain, in every story, there's a villain.
yes,
So who is the villain in your story? Sanskar.
no, he is my friend.
Create.
My friend telling me a story that my class not cooperate me, and that's why I cooperate him in every manner, in every situation, every critical
So this
situation.
was the problem
I
that
can-
Sanskar had and he wanted to solve. Look,
Yes.
in every story there has got to be a problem. He was a very sad little student and nobody was talking to him because he looked really weird. So I had to find a solution because I felt bad about it. I really felt bad. And then what happened?
I handle all the situations of this
Okay.
when he stuck in the situation. That's the story of my friend.
What is the
My friend and me also. This is a story of.
There is the emotion in the story?
But
There's no emotion, there's no dialogue. Hey, Sanskar, what
Yeah.
are you doing? I am a very sad person, Sanskar says. Create a dialogue. So next,
You create your own story, just like I said some time ago. And like,
yeah, hello.
I
please
wake
come.
up in the morning and I go to the mirror And when I see,
I did not see my face.
see in the mirror, I don't know here.
And then I was so shocked. And then again, I was very happy because I had become invisible. Somebody give him a story. Yes, give him a story.
Sometime ago you meet with her and you feel very happy because she looks very, she smiled with, she smiles.
No,
very
she
much.
smiled at you.
She smiles at you and after that she sighs and she is who? I don't know she is who.
How do I know who she is?
And,
So one day when I was walking, I met a girl and she smiled at me.
and after that you sigh.
Okay. You can tell me a story which you have the best story of your, the best movie, the best storybook, the best story of your imagination.
Horror story.
Oh yeah. Horror story. I love listening to horror stories.
Then I
Once upon a time, when I was
Oh, is it a real horror story?
no imagination. Once upon a time, when I ride my bike on the highway, when I crossed the street light of the highway, suddenly we saw standing a girl on the side of the road.
And she's wearing white, no? I'm also wearing white. I hope you did not see me.
Her cloth is white,
White.
and her hair is red and black color.
Red color?
Red and black. Reddy and black.
Red and black color. How can the hair be red? Okay. Are you looking at me? He's talking about me.
No.
Yeah, horror. So what happened then?
Suddenly I am shocked. Why? Because I can't see her face properly because it's black. And dark night. The night was dark and. What are you doing in the highway?
So what is the ending of the story? So when I went home, then let me complete the story. So I saw this woman, she was wearing white with long hair and red and white hair. And then I was so frightened. Then I went home. Hurriedly I went home. I fell down and hurt myself. Again I picked up my bike and went home. And the doorbell rang. I quickly rang the doorbell, and the door opened, and the same woman was standing in my house. Story, the end. Ending karna tha na, you just had to end it. So I went home. The same woman was in my house. When I rang the doorbell, she opened the house, and then I fainted. Create. Students of BBM, BBA, they have to be good storytellers because your profession demands storytelling. That's it for now.